Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your verbal ability mentor, Sanjana ma'am, and today I have come up with another session that's going to help you improve your knowledge of vocabulary. Now, for the ones who are new to this space, I've already solved multiple sessions of a similar nature, targeting vocabulary through synonyms, odd one outs. So ensure that you watch those videos as well. For sure, they are going to be very helpful in your exam preparation. And today, the nature of the topics, or not the topic per se, the nature of the questions is slightly different in that we are going to solve questions based on fill in the blanks, which will be an extension of vocabulary. But my agenda is that you should be able to understand the meaning of the words or be able to choose the right sort of word for a given blank. By gauging the context of the sentence. That being the case, let's focus on the questions one by one. So we have the first question here. Let's read the sentence, look for keywords, look for adjectives. Let's understand the tone of the sentence, right? So it says a prime minister dash the actions of the cabinet member. All right. So up until this part, I really do not know what is happening, except for the fact that the word which needs to come here has to be a verb, right? So she might either appreciate the action, she might either be against it or criticize it. This is a very rough, even a very indirect answer that I'm framing in my mind. Let's read further. Her sanctimonious tone. Now, sanctimonious means holier than thou approach, which means I am better than you in terms of morality, right? So, her sanctimonious tone indicated she wanted to put distance between herself and the lurid. Lurid means very unpleasant, dirty. Lurid implications of the scandal. So, first of all, there's a scandal. There are some implications, and she does not want to be concerned with it at all. Therefore, she wants to distance herself from it, right? So, the word here, according to me, that has to come has to have a negative tonality to it, because overall, when you look at the keywords here, the tone of the sentence is negative. We cannot have a positive word here. Now, understand, the prime minister maligned the actions. Now, you malign somebody's reputation, you malign somebody's name, which means you tarnish their reputation. Now, malign is not the right fit, right? Not because it does not make sense, but this is not how we use the word malign in that context, right? Therefore, wrong contextual usage of the word malign. Similarly, exculpated is a positive word. Positive in the sense it means to absolve somebody or clear somebody of blame. Now, if the Prime Minister really wants to clear the actions of the cabinet member, right, why would she want to put distance between herself and the lurid implications of the scandal? All of this does not really add up. I wouldn't be choosing this word, right? Now, look at the word D, which is detested, right? So this is option D. It says she detested the actions of the cabinet minister, hated the actions of the cabinet minister, right? Her sanctimonious tone indicated that she wanted to put distance between herself and the lurid implications of the scandal. Well, I do not particularly understand why there is a need to hate the actions of the cabinet member. It's not like the cabinet member himself or herself must have done something wrong, right? So there's lack of context here, because detest means to hate. So option D is out. And now we're left with C, which is the correct option. And I'll tell you why. To denounce something means to condemn it, right? To be against something. And given the context and lack of more elaborate details, denounce is the best fit here, right? This is the safest option choice. Therefore, C is the correct answer for the first question. Let's now take a look at the next question here. After getting expelled from school, Patricia refused to attend any future family functions. Now she's petrified. Petrified means to be fearful of something, right? That a stern family would dash her. Now she wants to avoid any future family functions because maybe she's embarrassed, right? She's petrified that a stern family would essentially mock her, right? Or make fun of her. Why? Because the context is she gets expelled from school. Obviously, this is not something to feel very proud of, right? And let's look for the correct word. Provoke means to instigate. So, why would the family instigate her? And for what exactly? So, lack of context, right? Lack of data, therefore, cancel option A. Deride actually means to ridicule somebody, to mock somebody, right? So it's quite possible that when you get expelled from school and you attend a family gathering where everybody is aware of the events, it's likely that you're going to get mocked or be made fun of, and you'll feel very embarrassed as a result of it. So the correct option would be deride here, option B. Emulate means to copy somebody, right? To emulate somebody is to be inspired from them and be able to match up to their actions and ideals, right? It is a word which has a positive tonality. So obviously, when you sort of get expelled from school, nobody would want to emulate you. So cancel option C. And veneration actually means to have a deep respect for somebody, right? So again, you can't possibly respect somebody who gets expelled from school, right? And getting expelled from school might happen because of a wrongful conduct. And therefore, D is also not the correct option here. Correct option will be option B, which is derived here. Let's take a look at the next sentence here. So it says a responsible business owner may easily feel between her concern for the well-being of her employees and the challenges of financial shortfalls. Firstly, we are saying that the business owner is responsible, and therefore a responsible business owner is bound to feel very confused when it comes to making a choice between two things, which is her concern for the well-being of her employees because she's a responsible business owner, right, and the challenges of financial shortfalls, which means she also needs to ensure that she is not really getting into losses per se, and there's a conflict of sorts, and the correct word to come here will be tension. I'll tell you why. Affinity actually means to have a liking for something. So why will she really like to be in a situation of perplexity or conflict? It's a great dilemma of sorts, right? So she cannot feel liking for something that's only going to worry her so much, right? Why will she feel dejected? And you don't feel dejected between something. Dejection is similar, just similar to rejection, right? You feel very underconfident because of a certain rejection you might have received, right? So the key here is the preposition between, and dejection is not followed by the preposition between, and therefore B is wrong. And the word uneasiness, and this is a popular choice, a lot of students when you are going to solve this question might feel confused between option C and D, but uneasiness actually means the right thing. The shadow answer, if we have to look at it, she might feel very anxious, right? Let me give you one word for it: anxious or angsty, right? But the thing is, this is not something that can make you feel anxious per se. The correct usage would be tension. You would feel tension between two things, right? So we're looking at it colloquially, even though uneasiness might make sense, in the general sense, but the correct form to be used here is given in option C. Therefore, tension is the appropriate word here. Let's take a look at the next one. So, Caligula, one of the great dash of history, is best remembered for his lavish bacchanalian feast in which participants indulged in every form of excess. Now, this might be slightly difficult for the ones who have zero idea about bacchanalian, but still the question can be made easy to solve if you are able to understand the context given in this part, which I have highlighted just now. So bacchanalian essentially refers to pleasure-seeking celebrations. There's a wild party of sorts, drunken revelry of sorts, right? But it's having a negative connotation on the whole. So he's remembered for his lavish bacchanalian feasts in which participants indulge in every form of excess, too much drinking, too much partying, right? Drunken revelry of sorts. So the word to come here has to have a negative meaning to it, right? So Puritan is somebody who lives a very, rigid, austere life, right? A life of purity, essentially, simply put. Philanthropists are the people who do charitable work for organizations. He cannot be a philanthropist if he is actually lavishing his energy and resources on bacchanalian fees, right? Ascetic, again, is somebody who leads a very rigid, austere lifestyle, right? Self-denial. A person who does not give in to materialism, right? So that's also the wrong fit. And the correct word to be used here is wanton. And I'm going to give you another word for this: debauchery, right? Just a lot of pleasure seeking activities, right? In all the wrong ways. So the correct word to be used here is wanton here, right? So he was one of the great wantons of history, people who just indulge a lot, right? And to an excessive degree at that. So the correct option is option D for this. Let's look at the next question. Arthur looked positively, and there's a blank, as he hadn't seen his wife. Now, up until now, you might think that the shadow answer to come here has to have a negative meaning. But before you jump the gun, please ensure that you read the entire sentence. Now, he hadn't seen his wife in weeks, but it also says that the mere sight of his wife filled him with elation. Elation means extreme happiness, which means that the word to come here has to be a positive word. Look at the word ebullient. It actually means very lively or cheerful, which is a positive word. Ideally, it should best fit the bill, but let's be sure of the rest of the words also. Esurient actually means greedy or hungry, So this is the wrong fit, right? I mean, it just does not make sense here. The word to come here has to have a positive meaning. Peevish is somebody who tends to become angry very quickly. So bad tempered. Now, why will he look positively bad tempered? Right? Such a paradox of sorts, not required. And execrable also has a negative meaning to it, something which is bad, something which is horrible, right? Something which is unpleasant. And therefore, D is also incorrect. The correct option will be option A, ebullient. He looked very cheerful because the very sight of his wife filled him with elation or extreme happiness. With that, we come to the end of the session. I hope all of you understood the session and you find the questions helpful. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.